Today, we're diving into writing anthemic country rock music, evolving artistry, and surviving the Nashville music grind while still making emotionally honest music. That's why Jacob Martin is here today. Thanks so much for coming back on.
Absolutely. We made it happen.
I know. The last time you and I spoke, we talked a lot about you like really grinding it out in Nashville. And
Hmm.
since then, can you tell us like in the last year, like what's changed the most? Has it been like your career, your music, the direction you're moving? Like what's been going on with you?
Yeah, in the last year, so we there's two sects in our, I just said sex, SECT. Um there's two like we're off to a good start, right? Um
This is gonna be great.
yeah, there's two like I guess entities in bandana. So band the bandana or bandana is, we do like we play down on Broadway here in Nashville, and we do like cover songs and stuff, and it's a wild deal. Like, I think we talked about it last time, how that was during the pandemic. Like, we everybody had these, we had bands and we're doing the road and different stuff like that, and then that happened and it kind of was a shift. And my buddy was talking about Broadway. He's like, man, you can really, make money down there, and and I'm like, Broadway, like, I'm not playing Broadway, like, it's like, nose up to it, because all the, like, a lot of industry people when I came into town was like, don't play Broadway, that's just,
Yeah.
looked down upon or whatever. And there was a lot of like pride in that. I was like, I'm not, I don't want to, go whatever cover songs and stuff like that. And uh but I did, we started doing it acoustically, and then and then yeah, I was like, wow, like, I have a family now, a new, at the time, a newborn baby, and was like, I don't have to go out on the road, and I can go down here. And so then started, then we evolved into this full the band and electrics and all that stuff. And then yeah, I just been like doing that, and it's been very, very good financially, and to be able to stay home and be with the family, and then do the, the writing thing and all that stuff. So yeah, a little bit about that. So that's the, the cover thing. And then um the original thing is Anna, just Anna, ANA. And yeah, that's been, kind of taken off here in the last year. Is writing new original music. It's funny. It's sort of like, it's like divorced dad rock type um stuff, like, a little throwback, and but modern, a little, like, man, like Creed, and
Yeah.
so popular right now, like Creed and 3 Days Grace, and those bands that were like, I guess they're post grunge, very popular down there. Like we make so much money playing, like, doing these Creed songs and Nickelback and divorced
Yeah.
dad rock, I guess it's called, and so, like, that's kind of right up our alley. So, our stuff is, kind of lends to that. And we've been writing a lot. Me and the guitar player David started here in my garage studio, and then just have been, yeah, doing that. And then we've, found a producer. Actually, it's funny how that happened. So the girl that sings with us, Kara, um, Madeira, is also a great artist. Her husband is a producer, and met him, and he really like dug the stuff, and so we started recording with him, and he's fantastic. And actually, he's actually one of the gonna be playing with us as well, one of the guitar players. So it's just like fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I was like, the cover thing is one thing, but there's still a part of me that's not at 40, like not, dying on the vine. Like I still have that. I came to town as a writer, I still want to write
Yeah.
music. I still have that. And so that self-expression comes out in the original Anna. And I remember saying to myself even a year ago that I just want a garage band, you know what I mean? Like just some dudes in the garage, like, like you know doing original stuff. and
Yeah.
and I guess I prayed about it, and here we are. We actually have rehearsal in my garage studio in a couple days, for a show that we have July 19th at the Cobra. Um, and yeah, it's just been so the last years is, I guess, it's work and church, right?
Yeah.
I just I go to work and church, as they
Yeah.
say.
Well, I remember you talking about this the last time we spoke, and you mentioned how, like, you never thought you would end up on Broadway. But, I mean, I can imagine it's kind of like tough to conceptualize, especially for someone who like came from publishing deals, writing with some really big names in the music industry. But when you got involved with the band Anna, did you have this, like, idea that you guys would start kind of, like, breaking off into an original project as well? Was that always the goal, or did it just kinda happen?
No, that was the goal. Anna, it did start like that. I was like, okay, we'll do that, but we also have, original music and stuff. But as life kept lifing, you know, uh, we're all like David, the the co-writer, and um the guy, my the right hand man in the project. Like, he has a family too. We all have families. And um, you know, y- it gets a little, you're making, decent money down there, and life is lifing, and it gets comfortable, and it just, um but finally, we're really, like, kind of strapping it down, and putting music out, as we'll talk about. We have that single coming out, Kiss Tonight Goodbye, and that's our first single as a original group, Anna. And yeah, just I guess doors are opening, with that, because we didn't look for the show. They kind of came to us. And then um what somebody was like, hey, you want to do a video? And we're like, oh, video. And so that's in the works of doing a video for that song. Just doors opening,
Yeah.
um and we're just having fun, man. Like, I'm kind of
Yeah.
making light of it. Like, I'm like, I don't know if you've seen my post, but I'm like, somebody come get your dads. They're in the studio again,
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come get your dads. They're like putting out new music.
Yeah.
And we talk like that kind of stuff, and we're just having fun with it,
Yeah.
Um, having fun. And I guess we got to be careful, because when you start having fun with it, I don't know, it grows legs a little bit.
Well, you mentioned that, like, this was always the intention, right, for the band Anna to break off and become Anna and write original music. But
Right.
with this being like the first song that you're about to release together, it was did you find yourself getting sidetracked because working on Broadway just kind of like sucks the life out of you, or because like the money's hard to walk away from sometimes, or like what was
Right.
it that like kind of caused all that like delay in the process?
The delay in the process. Yeah. Of course, family, we
Yeah.
both have um children. I've Gibson's 5, and he has Naomi, and a new child, actually, Wyatt, a new boy. And that, and 4 night, I guess we do 4 nights a week. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a full-time deal. um yeah, like that. The family, I think, really, again, in today's world, I see these guys grind. Everybody's just grinding and grinding, like it's all they do.
Yeah.
Content. You can't just make music anymore. It's content, and I mean, yeah, it's mostly content. And which is something we'll talk about. Hopefully, it does. Like, you have to constantly on Broadway. You're learning new songs.
Yeah.
Um, Stuff that maybe comes out, or always trying to expand the repertoire of what you can do, because oh man, so when we open ourselves to these $20 requests or whatever, like, you open yourself up to so many tastes in music. We know so many songs, like it's ridiculous, like hundreds and hundreds of songs. um and we're constantly trying to be like, okay, how do we not say no to the $20? Like, if somebody's like, hey, we want to hear this, so you've got like people that want to hear Jason Aldean, but then they want to hear 3 Days Grace and
Yeah.
Nickelback, but then they want to hear Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith, but what about this band and Rolling Stones, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, sometimes when you think you have your bases covered, like, one time I think a guy came up to me, he's like, he had like a gold chain on and a gold tooth, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna come up with some limp biz. Oh, what's this guy want? What's this daddy want? And he's like, hey, y'all know any Hall and Oates? And we're like, what? I didn't see that coming. And we're like, song to song to song to song to song, like we're the honky tonk Vegas show. So, and that's what they want. Like, and I think that's one of the reasons, if not to sound immodest, that we're playing the bigger stages, because that's what they want. It's like
Yeah.
the execution, but then, I know you had PJ Ferguson on here. He's another guy. We kind of
Yeah.
do the same thing. It's like it's DJ set. There's no like get done with a song and be like, all right, what are we gonna do next? Or
Yeah.
like what, like, how do we know that, like stuff like that? It's like for 3.5, 4 hours, you're just going for it. And yeah, so keeping the repertoire open and always learning, I guess, takes it, gives it time, time away from original stuff. And family, it's like, again, somebody come get your dads. We're 40. I think, and not to say, I mean, that things can't happen or you can't chase it, but when you have a family, I guess what's making the money, you know what I mean? It's like, i'm
Yeah.
not I'm not a, can you imagine me being like, well, honey, I'm gonna do this original thing and only do a couple of nights down there, and we're, and try to support our family.
I got to imagine that it gets pretty tough when you've got a whole other life going on. I mean, you can't necessarily just like pick up and hit the road for 6 months, when you've got kids
No,
at home.
not if you want to be an ass bag. If you Not if you don't want to be an ass bag, well, honey, I'm leaving. All right, raise the
Yeah,
kids.
real
That's a
life.
young man's game. It is a bit of a young man's game,
Yeah.
doing that. If I was 25, 30, even, like, I'd be like, yeah, well, Broadway's, I'd probably be, and I see that down there, they're just getting by. Well, we'll just play enough to
Yeah.
make some kind of money, because that's not the thing. This is the thing, the original is the thing. But, I think that one of them has to suffer, you
Yeah.
know, a little bit. And I think I see that some people down there that don't take it so serious because they're doing their original thing, their Broadway show suffers. And
Yeah.
and ours is, we try to keep that, it has to be kind of, that's the money maker, right? So
Yeah.
but There's a lot of variables, you know. I guess again, if I was younger, I would look at it a lot different, you know, than and I see that, you know.
Yeah. Is that the biggest difference for you? Like when you think back to where you were years ago when you were, working on solo stuff and you were like working as Jacob Martin and writing your own
Yeah.
originals, like is that the biggest difference right now being part of Anna where it's like because family kind of takes that priority over everything else, or is there something else that kind of really makes the distinction between who you are today and who you were back then?
A little, that's great because a lot of that's a very good and loaded question, you know, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know why you know, we talked about this. I let it all out like last time. So there's a lot of, and I think, you know, I need to be upfront and vulnerable about this. Like, so, you know, when I came to town, things were great. I had a manager. He would really talked to people, and I signed a publishing deal, and we were the band, you know, Jacob Martin, and we were booked by Buddy Lee Agency, which was a big agency, and we were working with the industry. I was writing with hit writers and people that, you know, that I'd only seen at the time in CD sleeves, like, um, and it was such a awesome thing, and like, yeah. So all that's going on. I suppose I was like 30, you know, 32, 30, something like that, 30, 32, whatever. Um, and yeah, just doing you know, doing all that, and having that happen, and having, you know, we songs on, you know, regional radio play, and you know, being sort of the hometown, like I remember we were on my big country station and out of Sioux City, Iowa, and they're like, oh, that's the guy, you know, and everything was like going, you know, there, and then the band broke up, you know, and after that happened, I tried to do the solo thing. I did some cool things, worked on a CD with some tunes with the guy from Shinedown and Eric, and who he produces and plays with them, and that was so cool. That was the last ditch effort. Good management, but it just didn't work out, and like yeah, so the tying that back to the Broadway thing, like I had written with people like Luke Combs and those guys, and I wasn't gonna, you're gonna take me down to Broadway and I'm gonna play a Luke Combs song, you know,
Yeah.
that feeling of like, oh, like my band broke up and I didn't make it, and now I've got to go play these songs of people that I've written with, and man, that was a big deal, and really dark spot in my life and career. Um, but I think all that to say, I guess why when I was in my early 30s, and when I pushed so hard, that's all I did was like I didn't have any family or anything. I was just in a basement, like making songs, doing just that, and like pushing so hard. In like, why did that, you know, why did I it just didn't work. It didn't work. Like I kept pushing and pushing, and that did not work. And I wonder, sorry, I'm just getting like really like thinking to myself deep, like
Yeah.
why didn't it work? Like why when I pushed so hard at that, because I just don't think it was thing at the right time. And you know, I'm, you know, very big, I'm a big God guy, you know, in my faith, and I just don't know if it was the time or place. and so I surrendered. I just surrendered. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I need, and I don't know what I want, and all the eggs were in this basket. What do you want me to do? Like what? And then after surrender is when I started, the building started happening again, and I found this wonderful lady that is my wife now, and just giving my my ideas and old ideas and my pushing of will and what I wanted and what I was getting, when I started like giving that up and letting that go, is when things start to get better, and better for me. Like, how cool is it to have a be able to make a good living and also
Yeah.
have a family, raise my child and be with my wife, and just jaunt downtown and make, as I'm telling you, as much money as a touring musician, if not more.
Yeah.
um and you know um going down there and doing that, it's like the best of this both best of the both worlds, right? And um I think that's that's a god for me. It's like, no, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's, you're check this out, check
I
this
mean,
thing.
it's
All right.
like the definition of a blessing in disguise, really, because I'm
Right.
sure at the time it kind of felt like your whole world was falling apart. But
Absolutely.
now, yeah, now you have all these different parts of your life that you probably never imagined back in your 30s. And yeah, I mean, it's like it's the direction you were meant to go, maybe not the direction you thought you wanted.
Absolutely. And yes, absolutely. And yeah, and it's yeah, I did not think that it would, I hadn't written it this way. Um but it is so much more joy. um I don't have to be, I'm not alone. I have my beautiful family. I'm not alone, like in a basement, like pushing my will and trying to make it, and I just pushing and pushing and pushing for it. It just goes so deep. Like, what was I trying to achieve there? I talk about this with my friends, and I'm in recovery program, and it's not, oh man, I could, it's not, it is not about the money. you know um if you look deep inside, and I think a lot of artists and people were honest with themselves, it's, even if you got a bunch of money, it wouldn't fulfill. It's about awesome, what we call awesome bucks. And awesome bucks are, you made it, buddy. Like, you did it. Like, you're awesome. That's what we want. Awesome
Yeah.
bucks. Somewhere deep inside, maybe I didn't feel like I wanted to do good. I don't feel enough, and I need awesome bucks. I need to be the guy, and for my family and everybody to be like, well, you did it. You made it. You did it. And that's hard to say,
Yeah.
but I think the honesty there is to make awesome bucks. And so when you realize that and just start being you, um and that's what's come to Anna. This original Anna is me being me, and it's not about like, oh, are they gonna like it, or is it gonna
Yeah.
sell millions? It's like a lot of it's recovery oriented in the music, and not this one song I showed you, but like yeah, a lot of it's like yeah, recovery oriented, and just honest stuff that I would like to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm talking too much on this podcast.
That's no. No, I want you to talk. Keep talking. No, but I do want to ask you because you mentioned, like the moment that you decided to surrender. And because I have to imagine that it was pretty difficult, going through those emotions when things started to not work out the way that you had imagined it. Do you
Mhm.
remember the specific moment when you decided, you know what, I'm just going to give in and let it be?
Yeah, honestly, like it was very destructive because I had so years and years in this Jacob Martin and with these guys and 6, 7 years more. It was more. It was just so many years. And when that broke up and things weren't working out, I went to a dark spot. Like I when I drink, I can't seem to shut it off.
Yeah.
And then I want to, you know, take it further and dabble in in drugs and stuff like me. Not well. I mean, heavens, under the influence, whatever you got, and
Yeah.
so that I answer that because it went really dark for me, and I
Yeah.
think we talked about this last time. Like, I had thought under the influence of like, if I'm not going to make it and do that, like, what am I going to like? That's my identity. That's who I am. Like, that was everything.
Right.
And if I'm not going to be a rock star, like I just felt like I'm gonna go out like a rock star. And
Yeah.
so I started started drinking and doing like like Adderall and all this stuff, and it got really, really, really dark. And I was on a mission to you know go out, like a rock star, whatever that means, like it's just like F it, F this, if I'm not going to get what I want. And yeah, so it got really, really dark, and I think all the way dark to almost, I think I went to the hospital, something like somebody rushed me to the hospital because it was something was going on, um and from like taking too much stuff,
Right.
and then I just had a moment of all the way down to the bottom, and it was like, what am I going to do? So I called some people that I knew from recovery, and started going to meetings, and that's a lot of those meetings are always talk about a surrender, to a higher power, and just it got all the way to the bottom to me to finally be like, okay, I give up. God, what do you think? As what I said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just, yeah. What was the question again? Was,
It
sorry, I
no, I mean, it was pretty much you're pretty much on the mark here, I think, because you're walking me through this moment. Like, do you remember the exact moment when you decided I'm just gonna give in and let it be?
yeah, that was it. All the way
Yeah.
to the bottom to surrender to on the knees, to a
Yeah.
surrender position, um to where I could have died or whatever, overdosed, and so all the way down, and then surrender, and then there's meetings, and just I give up because I tell you, I've learned a lot. Like, I get wrapped up in expectations and um eh, let's see, results and expectations, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I want it now, I want it now. It's not enough. Am I doing enough? I need to be doing more.
Yeah.
Go, 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 like this town and music, and I just have learned so much of, I am not a lazy person. I'm gonna do the work.
Yeah.
I have the fire still, even though I'm, like, I keep thinking like 40's old, but like,
No way.
even though I'm 40's and like, should be giving it up, and but I still have that fire. So what I've learned a lot is this of doing the work because I'm going to do it anyway, and then leaving results and expectations up to God,
Yeah.
you know, because it's the results and expectations that get me wrapped up, you know,
Yeah.
and but yeah, to your question, it was just all the way down
Yeah.
before I. Sometimes that's what it takes, right? All
Yeah,
the
that
way.
literal rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could see that. You said something that I think really resonates with a lot of musicians and creative people in general is that, you felt at some point this was your identity. And if you
Right.
couldn't do it, then like, what would you do? So,
100%.
like, do you remember, going through this transitional process, like when you were able to convince yourself, like, it's not your identity, like, you're so much more than a musician. Like there's other
Mm.
facets of you and your life. And like this is something you just have a passion for and you want to make it happen. Like, have you like, do you still think along those lines? Like, this is my identity, this is who I am? Or like, have you learned how to separate the two?
Yeah, that's been a process learning how to separate. That's
Yeah.
what I do, not who I am.
Right.
Jacob Martin is a stage name, is a character,
Yeah.
um, is the guy that gets up there and is like, I don't know what that is, Um, that's Jacob Martin, but Jacob Ronfelt, which is my Ronfelt, Martin's my middle name, is this, easygoing, like, funny guy, I'm funny,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, separating those is it's a battle sometimes, but yeah, those alter egos are funny, yeah,
Yeah.
separating that is a process, I'll just say that, and not taking myself too serious, I think that's so important.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in town, you're new to town, or you're coming to town, or you think you have to put on this, I'm a star, baby, like, I'm a star, everybody should know it. And it's really, no, like, it, just, I have a thing that dings on my phone when I go down to gigs, and it's before I get there, and it says, what can you give to the
Huh.
performance, not what you
Yeah.
can take, right? So it's about them. Like, I'm giving performance, and yeah, it's, I'm singing, and I'm the front guy, all that stuff, but like, what can I give to them rather than take? It's like, um I'm there for them. It's not they're there for me. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it's just a process of ego deflate. It's like I'm in ego recovery.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's really cool that you think of it that way because I think it can feel the opposite sometimes, especially when you're in like such a saturated environment, like full of talent and, people who are like Broadway in Nashville is like, just the epitome of like talent overflowing and offering
Yeah,
nonstop entertainment. Like, but I find it interesting that you decide to think of it as like, what can I give, not what are they giving me?
absolutely. Yeah. What can you give? So many, I'm a Christian, and so much of what I believe and what has been taught is, what can you give, right? Not what
Yeah.
can you give, not what you can take,
Yeah.
and maybe some people were born with that. I know I know some people in town that were always humble, and just, yeah, just like in that kind of mindset, and they did well. So funny, man, this business though, because you're promoting yourself, right? you're the product, but um how do people, yeah, I mean, what do you think? Like, do people want me to show up and not look at them and get up there and be like, you know, Prince, like, kiss the ring, and kiss, and like be that guy, um or just, I don't know, I think I can sometimes take, it's funny, I can sometimes take it too serious up there, and my band guys can feel the tension of, like, I'm wanting to push the show and make it
Yeah.
great and perfect, and in this, and I'm just kind of bitchy at them, like, like a James, like, James Brown, they talk about, or some guy like that. He's like looking at, snapping at people like five, like he was like cutting their money off as they played if they missed notes and stuff. $5, $5, and then but, or I could be the guy that is, which they they have talked about it. David, guitar player, has talked about, like, kind of relaxed, easygoing, um, just going with the flow, but still very, still very entertaining,
Yeah.
and people are feeling that, like, oh, I think nowadays people are really into the, like, the easygoing, relatable, you
Yeah.
know, vulnerable guy.
Yeah. Well, it's just honest. And
Right.
we've caught your show at Tootsie's, right? Like we've seen
Yes.
you
Yes.
guys upstairs. Like you and the show's killer. Like, but I think it's because you accomplish exactly what you're trying to. Like you connect, you don't seem like unattainable or like, I don't know, like you're like you couldn't be bothered with the audience. Like you're there for them. And I
Right.
think everyone feels that. And so it like creates this connection between audience and musician where everyone feels
Hmm.
like they're in on the show with you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think people really dig. Yeah, they do dig that. They do dig.
Yeah.
I, fancy myself as funny, so so I'm always like, I kind of pick on them too, like, throw jokes out, and like, yeah, I think they like that. Yeah, I can feel it from the crowd that they're wanting to stay at the show, and that they're receiving it better when that's going on. Not like,
Oh, yeah.
look at me, and yeah,
You mentioned something in our last chat. I don't know if you remember, but you said um, writing a hit song is like catching lightning in a bottle.
right.
And like I'm curious now that you guys have, your first song, have Kiss Tonight Goodbye. Do you feel like you caught lightning in a bottle with that?
I don't. I mean, I think it's a great song. I a lot of good reception with
Yeah.
it. It I man, I guess we'll see, right? Um uh yeah, I guess we'll see. I know that we felt like we had something, because, like, some of the other stuff is, it doesn't outright say it, but it's recovery, you know um oriented,
Yeah.
doesn't really lend itself to that so much, but this one's about, like, you know breaking up and together a while, and then breaking up, and because you keep breaking up, because the only thing you really have in common is getting under the sheets,
Yeah.
um which, we can all relate to, being in a relationship where that was the only kind of deal, that the compatibility was there, but
Yeah.
in the bed, but outside it was just like, there was a lot of fighting, or disagreement on things, and listen to me try to explain that song, but there's a lot of difference, and man and a woman, no, and yeah, they yeah, So this one was, it's a racy, you know, it's a little racy with the content of it, but it turned out very catchy and
Yeah.
relatable. I think we fought. It's funny. It's like, does this really want to be our first single talking about this stuff and or this kind of thing? But like, maybe it is. You know, like you were saying, it just felt like something that was a single and something that
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that needed to be. Um, yeah, it felt like a single, right? Hmm.
I think it's the kind of song that almost anybody can relate to. Like, that when you sent it to me and I was listening to it, it gave me the feeling of nostalgia because it just made me think of like all the times that I might have felt that about somebody.
Right.
So completely relatable.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Um, yeah, lightning in a bottle. You know, gosh, when I think about my friend Greg Barnhill. He wrote this song, but it's a beautiful song, and I love music, so I know so much music, and you can talk to me about country music, you can talk to me rock music, all this stuff, but there's a beautiful song called "Walk Away Joe" by Trisha Yearwood.
Yeah.
It and he wrote, and he just felt like it was from above, like came down, it was downloaded. Um, and that's such a special. It's such a beautiful. Do you know that song?
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. But that's like probably like one of those, God bless the broken road. So, like
Yeah.
these songs are those are lightning in a bottle, I tell you. But yeah, I remember writing a song with a couple guys that were our hit songwriters, and we wrote this song, and almost got cut by a couple people. It didn't quite make the full deal. It was on hold, as they say. Um, but yeah, that felt like a one of those songs. So you
Yeah.
just know that, like, man, right? I don't know. Maybe someday I'll be able to do it, but these guys, like my buddy Jody, Jody Stevens, he's produces Luke Bryan, and he's written some number ones and stuff, and we talk a lot, and he writes like a job, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like pretty much almost every day, like with guys, he's writing a song, and I mean, he'll say, well, you're gonna write like 500 songs, and one is gonna be good,
Yeah.
one might get cut, right?
Right.
And I love writing, but I'm not just going to get into a room and write about making up a story about a girl, with country music, like about a girl and drinking, or, you know what I mean? Which is, it's all well and good, but I'm just way too more into how music makes me feel, how music
Yeah.
can make somebody feel, or like those bands like Shinedown and some of those that bare their soul. They're saying, everything's not okay. Um, Sometimes I feel like, as gut wrenching as it is, not living. Um, to be able to have somebody like a younger person or somebody relate to that thought and be like, they feel like I feel, and I maybe don't want to commit suicide because this song is speaking to me. That
Yeah.
now it to change a life like that, or to have that sort of emotion from a song, is where, like, that's kind of what I dig.
Is there a particular song that gives you that feeling where when you hear it, you feel like they feel how I feel, or you feel not so alone when you listen to it?
Man, that's good. I was such a big U2 fan. Like early, huge, like early U2, and that was a big deal. Their songs are so like kind of emotional. You
Yeah.
hear like stuff like "We're the Streets of No Name," like "I Want to Run, I
Yeah.
Want to Hide, I Want to Tear Down the Walls that Hold Me Inside." I want to reach out, touch the flame with the streets of no name. Like stuff like those songs, like stuff like that makes me like, ooh, like poetry, right?
Yeah.
Poetry. Kurt Cobain did it great. Like there's a lot of writing that was like he didn't lay it like country lays it on the table. It's like, this is what we're talking about. You get
Yeah.
up, you go to, you're going to work and it's telling you, but those songs like U2 and Nirvana and but bands like 90 Live, remember Live, the band Live?
Yes.
Gosh, Lightning Crashes.
Yeah.
Those bands and that music um didn't spell it out. So you can catch lines that maybe that lines that are meeting you where you are at your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, maybe that's not exactly what they meant, but you're like, you're feeling it that way. You're catching it that way. Um, Gosh, Stone Temple Pilots did. His writing. I think there was, yeah, poetry, right? Just,
Yeah.
but I love all. I mean, I don't need to go so dark. Like I mow the lawn listening to Dancing on the Ceiling, Lionel
Yeah.
Richie. Like, let's be honest now,
Oh, man.
right? Ooh, a lot of feeling.
Yep.
When you dance. Um, yeah, you know what I mean? I just all Richard Marx. I mean, I'm all over the place.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Right.
Richard Marx. Oh,
Woo!
my mom is gonna give you, like, bonus points for that. She loves
Right.
Richard
Check
Marx.
this out. I don't mean to jump off screen, but I gotta check this out.
Oh, yes.
Right.
You already had it loaded up and ready.
Yeah, yeah, I already had it. That's the only song, like one of the songs I know on piano, so I can woo the ladies. I'll be like,
Yes.
oh yes, yeah, I'll play you this one here. Um, I just love music,
Yeah.
and when you're into it so much, you forget why you loved it, right?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the NFL, Nashville, and this and that and everything else, and then you forget why you fell in love with it in the first place, just because you just met you where you were in life, and I just, yeah, I think, um, and I got to remember as a young songwriter, writing from 14 on, is that when I felt a way or felt something in life, I wrote about it,
Yeah.
almost like a diary, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get in and it was like, today I felt, like I grabbed a guitar and I wrote a song about it, good or not. Um, Got to remember that, why it was a coping mechanism, and I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I in a lot of ways it is. I mean, is there a particular song that you've written that you feel like really kind of, I don't know, helped you work through an emotional process? Or is it or has there been, more than one that's done that for you?
Yeah, there's a one, even I wrote this even then. That was more spiritual. That was like, um even even down at the most depths of sorrow. um I still need to um remember and praise God,
Yeah.
that was that type of song. I remember that was sort of feeling downloaded. I was in the shower just kind of spitting these lyrics out. It was like, wow. um what was that chorus? Um mm, mm, mm. There's a new, it's so funny, like I say, like these new songs, I'm saying F a lot. I'm saying the F word a lot. And I don't know where that's coming from, but this song "Fine" that is going to be on in the new stuff is an acronym for. Can you cuss on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so it's an acronym for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, emotional.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So "Fine" is this song, and it's a recovery song, recovery related because it says, you know, what I've seen and what I have is hey, you got it all over you, ashamed um to tell yourself the truth, but I can see you're fucked up, insecure, neurotic, emotional like me.
oh,
And uh and that's, yeah, that's a thing when you see a okay, so that's yeah, sorry, I'm not explaining it very good, but fine, I'm fine. You ask somebody, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine.
yeah.
I'm fine. you know and fine, you're fine is not a very good like
Right.
and it's like you're fine, and that you hear that a lot in recovery, like I'm doing fine, and and so the acronym that I don't know where it came from, but it is in that recovery is you're fucked up, insecure, neurotic, emotional, fine. um in But we talk about how we feel, and
Yeah.
so that's like one of those songs that's like, it says, I hear I hear what you're saying, but I well, how are you really feeling? Like
Right.
I've been there. I've been fine,
Yeah.
Um and yeah, so stuff like that. I just love music, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the goosebumps can come from anywhere. Um
Yeah.
I'm so you should see the playlist. It's so funny. Like me and our drummer, we just laugh. I'm like, do you like Spando Ballet? You remember that
Yes.
band?
Yeah.
Yes, like stuff. We'll be sending stuff each other, like that stuff, and from the Verve Pipe to that.
Oh,
Yeah, remember the Freshmen,
yes.
like stuff like that. To I don't know. There's so much good music, man. You know, um, and it's just like the playlist. Oh my gosh, okay, so when I'm mowing, I instantly go to uh what is that? Oh, it's so awesome, dude. What is that song? King of Wishful Thinking.
Oh, man. Go West.
Go West. Yes. I don't need to fall at your feet. I was mowing. Got me through the bone. Such a good song, right?
It's so funny, like, to hear that you listen to all these, like, upbeat tunes when your writing is so
I
emotional
know.
and deep.
Right. Right. That is so funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, go West, dude. Go West, and oh man, it's so many fun. Um, but that is funny because I wonder. Oh, there is some like more positive. Actually, it's funny because they're not all like that. And there's a song. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't talk about it, but it's called "Find a Way." That's a um, it's like pop punky type,
Okay.
and you'll hear. I mean, I think you said you were going to come to the show, so July
Yep.
19th, but you'll hear it. And it's sort of reminiscent of like a Sum 41 type
Okay.
deal, um, or Jimmy Eat World kind of stuff, and basically like sit back and have a good day. But then the chorus is, I'll start to think I'm not enough. I'll start to think I'm not enough. Get in the way of getting love. Um, um, no need to push, but I still shove. I'll find a way to fuck it up. Is
Yeah.
basically what it says, and but it's in a happy, like, I guess you'd have to hear it, but
Yeah.
um, to bring that's that I wanted to bring that up because it's not all like deep, because there's some kind of like, there's like, you know, positive like pop punky kind of stuff, and there's a one that's cute that I think you'll like. It's called Suit and Tie, and that one is talking about how I never thought of myself that I was gonna be in a suit and tie. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that I'm that it's also pop punky type, but it's like that. That's sort of an omen of like uh you can't you pretty much can't disguise the heart. Like uh, um it's not, I've never thought I would be a suit and tie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's like music was always the thing, you know. It's hard to explain, but that's
I love well,
that.
that's really cool, and we'll get to hear, like, the whole variety of the songs that you guys have been working on together, at the Cobra, is that right?
Yeah, the Cobra, July 9th. That's my
Nice,
birthday. Everybody has to
nice.
go. It's my birthday.
Yeah, now everybody's locked in. If you're in the area,
It's
it's a
my
birthday
birthday.
celebration.
July 19th at the Cobra. You'll have to give me a snippet of this so I can put it on my socials as
Absolutely.
um pumping the show up. But yeah, yeah, it's that's fun. And you know, I'll wrap that the writing up with, yeah, I should you can't really write it, you got to write the song that is lending it, you know, the mood that you're in or the
Yeah,
thing. So don't, you know, it doesn't have to be all like, you know, dingy and dark and
right.
that kind of rock. And you know, I've got a lot of I've written a lot of genres, so it's all what's coming, you know.
Yeah,
But if you ever remember, you know the band Sugar Ray. I
yeah,
always bring this up. Their first record was like, it was like, right? It was like the new metal screamo rock kind of type stuff. And they had one song that was called Fly,
yeah.
and they put that out, and it just went nuts. And then they're like, okay, well, I guess they like this stuff. You know what I mean? And then they had to kind of follow all that stuff up. But yeah,
Yep,
they were much more of a rockin' type of a deal. And you know, we're just kind of throwing things out there, you know, not just one genre type, you
yeah.
know.
Well, I think that's what makes it so much fun is because you're writing and you're producing what feels authentic to you and not trying to
Yes,
fit it into this one box.
absolutely. Or having
Yeah.
the suits, as you will, or the labels being like, oh yeah, right, this
Yeah.
has to be like this, you know, cohesive. Yeah, it's a lot of, you know, recently, I think maybe you've seen it. It went pretty viral. That the artist Nate Smith, talking about that. I wanted to talk about this a little bit with the socials, being a or it's a content world. So I
Yeah.
wonder how many bands would not have made it in a content world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they just want to make music, right? You just want to make
Yeah.
music and put it out there, and that's what you want to do. But now it's almost equal, or if not more content, where you have to, you know, sit in front of a phone and or excuse me, like a camera, or yeah, probably a phone, and lip sync your song, you know, to,
Yeah.
you know, and be like, ooh, download my, you know, go check my stuff out, you know. and and yeah, it's just like, do you really, like, I almost want to ask people, like, do you really want to watch me sit in front of my camera and lip sync my song to you? Is that what you want to see?
Some people do, but to be honest, like, you've got some pretty good content, like, speaking of, on the lighter side of things, like, your Instagram, like, you've got this whole alter ego.
What, Kip the Lip?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Dude, Kip, I love Kip. Kip needs to come back. He's funny, and yeah, Kip from Lebanon, Tennessee.
I love
Um,
that guy.
it's hard to see here. Let me see if I can keep my lip up here. Let's do it. it's hard. But I instantly turned into like, like, hey, you talking about Kip here? Hey, how do you get? Hey, what's your name, Deanna or something? Deanna, hold on now. It's like just comes into like this
Oh,
redneck,
it's amazing.
yeah, guy. Yeah, I
I
should
think
be.
that stuff is just as good as lip syncing your own song.
Yeah, that I would much prefer to see Kip
Yeah.
coming across the feed rather than me being like, "Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah." Um, but shit, maybe it should just be a video of that. Oh
You should just
yeah,
do that. That works too.
just saying, "Oh yeah," while the song's going on.
As Kip the Lip.
Oh, what if Kip the Lip was just lip syncing the song?
There you go. I
That's
think you
talking
hit
like,
gold.
yeah. What are you talking about viral? Like,
Yeah.
but I guess it is what it is. I mean, there's worse. There's two sides to me. It's like Nate Smith is like, it's like I hear you, bro. Like you're tired of putting content out, and you just want to play music. And I hear that, but then on
Yeah.
the other end, it's like, well, you're doing well, man, and you're in a lot better position than a lot of people, and just kind of,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you gotta, it's funny, and I don't mean this, but it's like, oh, you gotta get up and make a video today. Oh, poor guy. Like, some people go 8 hours to work and like move like cement and stuff.
Yeah.
Poor guy's got to get up and make a video of himself.
Yeah, but I mean, it can be kind of, overwhelming when you're that person for yourself. You're the writer, the producer,
Right.
you're the content creator, you're doing it all. But I do have one more question for you before I let you go.
Okay.
It might be one of the tougher ones you've had to answer, but like at the end of the day, after everything, all the songs, the miles, the late nights, after everything that you've been through, like in the music industry, is there one thing that you hope that actually lasts? Like I know there have been, a ton of projects and things that like, didn't end up like carrying you to where you are now, but what what is that one thing that you hope you're able to take with you forever?
Like the legacy, or is that what you mean? The like what legacy will you leave? Or
Yeah, or what is the one aspect of doing this for a living that you hope just keeps,
oh yeah, that's
staying
great.
how it is?
Yeah, just wow, that's a very good question. And um yeah, I guess songs left behind, and creativity left behind, and people seeing that, you know, um I guess people seeing like that guy just never gave up, you know?
Yeah.
That dude just, man, he just kept at it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
uh because I think that is, I was just in love with music, and that's what I wanted to do, and I've become a self-made man because of it, of hanging on so long. um I guess it's that, it's like the guy just knew what he wanted, and he just kept at it and never gave
Yeah.
up. Because that's what's going to separate the people that I think make it and the people that don't, is like they just didn't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They really didn't, like, because it's so hard, and it's like anybody that doesn't truly have the burning passion to create and make music and make it their life, you're gonna give up, because
Yeah.
it's too hard. You know what I mean? And somebody called me one time, said, they called me, you're that Broadway star. I was like, Broadway star. It was like, I don't, you both complimented me and put me down in one sentence. No,
Oh
um,
no.
I'm just kidding. Um, but like, yeah, like, I think it's so funny. The world the world makes way for those who know where they're going. I have this little,
Do you have that in your room right
yeah,
now?
yeah. And I think that's so true. Never gave up, and something happened. In maybe it wasn't the way that I thought it was going to happen, but
Yeah.
making a living doing what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just leaving behind songs and creativity. I think, yeah, it wasn't like everybody around me would be like he was a big star, but he really knew what he wanted, and it was always music, and he just made it happen, right?
Yeah. It's the tenacity, like the
Hmm.
dedication and like the will to like keep doing what you love, like despite all the twists and turns. Someone once
100%.
said to me, and you would probably really appreciate this just because you've spoken about, like your faith and everything. But somebody once said, the only time God ever laughs is when you try to make plans.
Absolutely, 100%. When you
And I
make,
just, yeah, I always loved
it's
that.
so funny, and that's so true. It's like, yeah, to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
And it is so true. And I do think that God has better plans. And like I said, um, this illustration, I always think about, it's so corny, but you're holding on to this little teddy bear. I think I told you this a long time ago, but holding on to this little teddy bear you love, and God's like, let it go, and and you're like, but I want it, but then he's got a huge teddy bear behind his back, right?
Yeah.
Like, just let it go. I've got something better, right?
Yeah.
And he really does. And as long as I let it,
Yeah.
surrender, and yeah. So, what a heck of a conversation
I
we
know.
had.
Well, you're always so like open and honest and vulnerable, and I just appreciate you, sitting down with me again because I love hearing more about your story and where you're headed next, and I'm
Right.
really looking forward to the show.
Yes, that's so cool. I'm gonna start pumping the show, and you can get the tickets at cobra.com, and um the single, and that coming out, and in the video, we'll see what's happening with this video idea here. Um that's gonna be fun to think about, and to do. So we'll just, yeah, keep seeing the doors that open, the teddy bear doors.
The big teddy bear. And if you're in
DVDs.
Nashville and you want to go out on Broadway, you catch the bandana because you guys put on a killer show.
Well, thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we're between Honky Tonk Central and Kid Rock's and Tootsie's Roof, which I call the Rockin' Rooftop.
Yeah.
Those clubs.
Well, dude, thank you so much. Like, I just appreciate your time and the conversation, and um, I just appreciate you being here. And thanks so much for being on and dedicating an hour and change to do this today.
Hour change, yeah. And I thank you for having me, and
Yeah,
you're awesome, and I love that you're doing this, and you
thank
should
you,
keep doing it because you're great at it, and
thank
and
you.
and in it'll only take 10 years and it'll blow up. No, I'm kidding.
I'll put out 1,500 episodes, but
Right?
1501 will go
That's the
viral.
one. 1501. That's great.